I am Marian Maicatino, a Filipino environmental planner. In this video, we will create a post-disaster rehabilitation and recovery framework using PlanSmart. Having a post-disaster rehabilitation and recovery framework will guide your overall program for rehabilitation and recovery. It will outline the relationship among the long-term goal, the overall outcome, the sectoral outcomes, and the general strategies of your disaster and recovery program. It will also highlight the cross-cutting concerns that your programs and activities must address. Each framework should be tailored for each disaster event. In this example, from the Ready to Rebuild guide, the general framework was modified for the Boracay Rehabilitation Action Plan. To create your post-disaster rehabilitation and recovery framework, go to the DRR Program tab and go to the Framework section. In this section, you will be able to choose from a menu of options for outcomes and strategies. The long-term goal is already given as a default, adapting from the National Disaster Risk Reduction Management Plan. The overall outcome of your framework, as I mentioned earlier, should be tailored to the disaster event. The default one is given here. Sector outcomes are what your overall outcome would look like for housing, livelihood, physical infrastructure, social services, and agriculture and fisheries. To add sector outcomes, choose a sector. The sector outcome and strategies that you chose are filtered according to the sector that you have selected. To confirm your options, click the Add Sector Outcome. Cross-cutting concerns are issues that should be addressed in your programs and activities but are not contained in one sector. For example, if indigenous peoples will be affected by your programs and activities, we must check the culture sensitivity checkbox. Don't forget to save your progress to add your disaster rehabilitation and recovery framework to your working plan. To preview the Rnr Plan, click the View Rnr Plan. The Disaster Rehabilitation and Recovery Framework is included in Chapter 4A. With this, you can see the relationship among the goals, outcomes, strategies, and cross-cutting concerns of your framework. Next, we must identify objectives and strategies per sector that we want to achieve for our disaster rehabilitation and recovery program. To define, objectives are specific, measurable, and time-bound equivalents of our desired sectoral outcomes in our framework. Then, strategies are plans of action we want to take to achieve these sectoral objectives. To add objectives and strategies to your program, click the Add New Objective button. A pop-up form will help you select corresponding objectives and strategies by sector. Select a sector you want to work with. I will choose Housing and Settlement. The objectives will now be filtered according to the sectors that you have selected. Then, the strategies you want to implement to achieve the sectoral objectives. To confirm your selection, click the plus button and save the objective. Now, your chosen objectives and strategies are added to your program. To view the Rnr Plan, click the View Rnr Plan button. The objectives and strategies by sector are presented in the plan in Chapter 4B. These objectives and strategies of your program hopefully will guide your priority programs and activities for rehabilitation and recovery. It is important to note that your priority programs and activities should answer the objectives that you have set in the beginning. With this, PlanSmart can help you identify a framework for rehabilitation and recovery and program objectives and strategies that match the national goal in the context of your local municipality, city, or province. Thank you.